Another wicked Facebook Marketplace find. Hey guys, I just gotta tell you, before we do the reveal on this, I'm just gonna go over a few of the other things that came with it and then I'll flip the deck. For you guys that have a keen eye, you already know what this is. I don't even have to flip it over and you're confident you know what it is. And you're probably absolutely right. But anyways, let's go through some of these other parts. But I also wanna say, when I found this thing, it was listed in Facebook Marketplace as a penny board. So when you guys are doing your searches, think outside the box. Don't just put in skateboard or old school skateboard. Start to think outside the box because I've been pretty lucky lately doing that. The other benefit is that if you're doing searches for things like penny boards or long boards or other types of boards or just looking based off a name, then not everybody else is going to be doing that. So it's less likely that a bunch of people are going to crash the boards and try to reach out to the individual selling it and jack the price up like crazy. There was just another incident. There was a OJII board that was listed, I think, for 50 bucks or something like that. And one guy had it, might have even started to make a drive. And I know this has happened before, but anyways, all of a sudden gets a call from the seller saying, you know what, I've got a bunch of other offers. The deal falls apart. Next thing you know, somebody else has it listed for $300, $500, $700, whatever it may be, right? But yeah, so if you have a bunch of guys crashing the boards, they're bidding up the price, and so it's hard to find the good deals once everybody gets a handle on it. So be sure when you're looking to think outside the box in your queries, that's for sure. Anyways, I'm gonna put this down and grab a few of these other things that were included in this deck because I put together that OG deck. So I'll put some pics up here, but these wheels I had not heard of until I got them. They are OG, and so they're a 63 millimeter, I believe, and they're 97A, so I'll throw a pic up here. But really interesting wheels. They're Hosoi Skyrocket and they're a prototype, the Skyrocket prototype. So really cool wheels. So those came with them. I don't know if we'll try skating them or not. There is some spray paint on them. So, if somebody was diehard looking for them, then they might be, of real interest to somebody. But yeah, the other thing I want to point out is, and you'll see when I show you the other OG wheels that I got, the slime balls, the Santa Cruz slime balls, and they're the big balls. They're 95As and they are 65 millimeters. But you'll see, I took these wheels off, I gave them a really good clean in there with the brush, scrubbing on those graphics, and did not come off. If you know anything about graphics, on the new wheels, you know that if you look at them, they start to peel off. So there's just something about the paints or whatever it was they used back then to put the graphics on, exponentially better than what they are today. I know I've been blasted in the past, and there was a time that it wasn't cool, like I think in the 90s, 2000s, where you didn't even want to see the graphics, everybody turned their wheels around. I think that was pretty popular for quite a while. And I've been blasted on the channel before for making that comment that I think it was in one of my earlier videos, and somebody was blasting me going, making fun of me because I was concerned about the graphics popping off. But you know what? The graphics are a major part for me. I'm very visual, I'm a photographer as well. And so when I'm looking at that culture, I'm taking in everything, just like the graphics on the deck. It's all important to me. And I would prefer that in today's, world, whatever they use, they were able to put something on to make those graphics last a little bit longer. Otherwise, why put them on? You're literally just putting them on for the initial buy or to sit on a shelf because they just fall apart. Honestly, it feels like you look at them and the graphics are falling off. So the other things that I got are, and these are some newer, Stage 3 Indy 139s, and so you guys know what those are. I don't have to get into any details. And then as far as the wheels here, these are some bones. They're called the Gravette Killers, I believe, and they're 53 millimeter. And I think they were 83B, which I think works out to about a 103A. And then some Indy 5s as far as the bearings go. So all of this stuff, an amazing deal. This was just kind of extra. And to be honest, if I sold what I would pay new for these trucks, wheels and bearings, would be the cost of what I paid for all of this stuff. And these trucks are virtually brand new. All right, let's get into the, well, one other thing. I got a bunch of hardware here as well with it, so I was able to put the deck back together with the OJII parts, including the rat nuts for the Nosebone and for the Tailbone, and then just a bunch of other mounting hardware in here, which was nice to have, so we threw those in as well, which is killer. But let's get into this OJII goodness, all right? Here we go, the Steve Saiz. And I believe this one is from '89. You guys can go check out my other videos. I did a reissue versus my other OJII, and it was the same actually, just the black dip with the red wings as well, which is really cool because you don't see as many of these. So it's rad that I was able to kind of get a second one here. And this is the the spoon nose versus the kick nose. Yeah, so a little bit, the exact same nose that was on my other one and that we see on the reissues. It's not the kick that we see on the reissues. And so yeah, so this is it set up. This grip I actually took again and just cleaned it up with some soapy water and a brush and just cleaned it up and came up really nice. The grip job is not the best, but I decided to leave it, and if I sell it, somebody else can pull off that grip if they want to re-grip it. You can see here where the rat nuts are for the tailbone and then for the nose up there. There is a little bit of damage on the tail, but not much at all. Just a little chip, and it goes through, yeah, there's probably a couple ply anyways that it goes through there, but it's really not that bad. Outside of that, this deck is in amazing condition. It really is beautiful, and this is again the full size. So yeah, OJII tailbone, OJII nosebone. I don't know if you can see that. I'll put up some pictures as well so you guys can see this stuff as I'm talking about it, which is really rad. And then the bearings that came with it were a mix of some German bearings and then some other off-brand that you can still kind of get, I guess. They're NSG or something. I'll put them up, but yeah, or have it in the description. But it was nice to see a couple German bearings in there because I remember as a kid, like the German bearings were the way you wanted to go. They were just the expensive bearings. If you were a kid riding with some German bearings, you had like the top-notch bearings, which was kind of rad. So anyways, the German bearings and a couple of them. And then finally here, I want to talk about these trucks because these trucks, I'd never heard of them until I got them. And I thought I was buying, like I thought part of the deck was some OJII gull wings. And so I figured that they were the, oh crap, excuse me, I'm forgetting right now. What is the ones that look like the Indies? OJII, or sorry, the gull wing. I don't want to say Sidewinders. Anyways, I'll find it and put it here in the thing so you guys know what I'm talking about, but I definitely know they weren't like the Pro 3s or the Phoenix or anything with the big dip in it. There is that version that they have, and so that is just more like the Indy straight across truck. And that's what I thought these were. Shadows. I think they're the Shadows, yeah. So the Going Shadows, and that is not, this is not them. These are Deadbolts. And so if you look in the Zorlak catalog, they had these, and so some people will reference them as Zorlak Deadbolts. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe they are. They have some really cool ads. So they came out in the 1990s, I guess. And I'm going to pull up a couple ads here. Let me just read from the one. And so the big thing that they're talking about, even back then, and I remember recently, it wasn't that long ago, that Indy was boasting about the reverse kingpin. So here, 1990, check out the kingpins on those. They're reverse kingpin. And I'll show you on the bottom as well. But the bolt goes through and locks in there, and then we have, the nut goes through, and then yeah, the bolt goes through the top down into the nut and spins, versus the other way, where the bolt goes through the bottom and then the nut's on top. And so this was back in 1990, and they were doing that, which is so rad that, yeah, you have that there. And so they're boasting about it. They're saying the Deadbolt Indestructo Hex Head Kingpin sits lower than conventional kingpins to prevent kingpin hang-up and wear, cast from grade 8 steel and guaranteed unbreakable. So hanger ring flush with rear running surface or base plate to prevent locking. Deadbolt rubbers come in 4 harnesses for skating style. A couple other things there. Lightweight composite base plate incorporated riser pad and strength into one design. Pivot won't pop out of base plate during slappies and other demanding grinds. But yeah, the really cool thing here is, again, is that inverted kingpin from back in the day. So it's almost kind of like they've taken the indie idea and the gullwing idea with the base plate here and slammed it all together. Anyways, guys, there you have it. I wanted to give you a look at this. Another amazing Facebook Marketplace find. Now, because I feel like I didn't show you guys these wheels. So yeah, we have the Santa Cruz big balls there. I'll put them up, and again, they're in the 95A, which I skated back in the day. I had the original Crossbone ones. I think they were 95As, and I love them. You could four-wheel slide those babies like crazy. I've never skated these wheels, so I'm tempted just to take this board out for a rip and see how they compare to the old Crossbones. But anyways, that's what they are, 95A, and they are 65mm. All right, have a fabulous weekend, guys. Don't forget to come back. Thank you for all the comments, likes, and I'm meeting some really rad people. So do please comment because I enjoy the engagements for sure. Cheers, have a fabulous week. Peace out.